Hello and welcome to your Week 7 Noah and Corbin Suck Balls Fantasy League update. Some big news this week is injuries all across the board. We have Arian Foster with a hamstring, Doug Martin out for multiple weeks, possibly the rest of the season, Reggie Wayne with the ACL tear, Nick Foles going out in the third quarter, and of course Jay Cutler scoring -1 point before being injured due to his groin. So this week has been, despite my win, pretty rough. I'm going to be building up a lot of rage this week. It's going to be short. I'm going to list the games in ascending order of rage. So the least rage first, saving the anger for later. Diving into the games, first up we have The Kingdom at Peyton Manning and the Scrubs. This is my favorite game of the week. Why? Because Connor Washburn lost, meaning that I am tied with him for a playoff spot. Despite my low scoring, I am very, very much in the running. Basically, neither team did especially well, except Britton won based on his flex, defense, and kicker. He finally made the right quarterback decision between Romo and Brady. Unfortunately, he only scored 12 points. After this, we have Velociraptors at the Bearded Reindeer. Consistent performance by both teams. We had a lot of good scorers, numerous people in double digits, a huge majority. In this case, defense and kicker made the difference, with Tyler Ballard's 49ers scoring 13 and Adam Vinatieri scoring 16. 5-point win, close game. The reason I put this one as the second least rage-worthy game is because Tyler changed his team picture to that of a cute little girl. I don't know who this girl is, but I really appreciate it that Tyler is dedicated to younger people and children, especially little girls. That's very good of him. Third up, we have Team Torben at the Staph Infections. This makes me happy, obviously, because I won. Unfortunately, I put it third because I only beat Cody, which really proves nothing. So I have a theory. Maybe if he would change his name from something other than an infectious disease, then his players might actually start doing well. I don't know. Or maybe he is cursed. It was a big boomer bust game. 4 players scoring above 25 between the two of us. My wide receivers scored 52, whereas Matt Stafford and Matt Forte combined for 54 points, actually. But I was able to have a more consistent performance, and thanks to Rob Gronkowski and Hakeem Nicks on his end, scoring only 2 points, I was able to pull out a pretty sizable win, 15-point margin. Now for a quick rant. Why can't my team stay healthy? Really? Like, week 1, Ray Rice gets hurt. David Wilson, he finally starts doing well, and then he gets hurt. Calvin Johnson randomly misses a game. CJ Spiller's been injured all season. Before that, it was Reggie Bush was injured before I traded him. Now Reggie Wayne tears his ACL and is out for the year, leaving me with only 2 healthy wide receivers. They're very good, but I have 2 wide receivers on my team, and I had to pick up Cecil Shorts, which is just shameful. And I'm still looking for trades. I'll trade either Le'Veon Bell or really any of my running backs for a good receiver, depending on how good the offer is. The offers you've given me so far are awful. Corbin offered me Le'Veon Bell for Mike Wallace, which Bell actually has more points than Wallace so far this year, despite the fact that Bell's played in half as many games. And then Bell for Amendola, who's injured and plays for the Patriots, who honestly no Patriots wide receiver is good this year, unless you're Rob Gronkowski. Up next we have Rape Jess at She Wants the Cox, and this is the rage-worthy game. Set your lineup, Steven! Seriously! Okay, Noah won 87-83. A 4-point margin of victory. Steven did not start a defense. He started the Saints on bye. On his bench was the Patriots, who scored 10 points. If he had started them, he would have won. Also, at his second wide receiver spot, he put in Randall Cobb, who was out, injured. They knew that. It wasn't even a last-minute thing. He's been out for weeks. 0 points. And what happens? He loses by 4. Ben Tate scored 5 points. If he had put in Ben Tate, he would have won. If he had put in Alshon Jeffrey, he would have won. If he had put in any freaking player on his team, he would have won. But no, Noah's undefeated, bragging, a win's a win. Screw you, Noah, that's not a win. Beating Steven with half his players gone isn't a win. Your team is going to die soon. I promise it's going to happen. And now, if you thought that was my rage-worthy game, no, it was not. This is the rage-worthy game. Team Can't Decide Name, Screw You Michael, at Team Phoenix. A few weeks ago, I ranted about the worst fantasy game I've ever seen. I was wrong. That wasn't the worst fantasy game ever. This was the worst fantasy game ever. Final score, 58-55, Michael getting the win. Okay, Corbin. He starts a kicker who's injured and playing for the Vikings, who are starting a new quarterback who doesn't know anything. An injured kicker with no offense whatsoever. 0 points. If he had started pretty much any other kicker, he would have won. Also, he started Michael Cox. Who is Michael Cox? You could find people on waivers better than Michael Cox. You got the wrong... Even among Giants running backs, of which they're using their 5th and 6th ones, he picked the wrong running back between the 5th and 6th Giants running backs and got 2 points. Also, Mike Wallace sitting on the bench, 8 points. That was enough to win. But that's just not it, because he also decides to start Jay Cutler. Jay, 14.4 points per week, very average Jay Cutler. What happens? He goes in, he gets injured, -1 points. And Michael wins and is 6-1, and he suddenly thinks his team is good, despite the fact that no position player scored more than 10. Let me tell you something. Your MVP this week was Jay Cutler. I've already said that, so I'm going to bring up another stat. Alfred Morris, who you somehow think is good, has 3 touchdowns this year. Roy Helu, his backup, has 3 touchdowns last week. Why don't you pick him up? Look, your team's not good. Deshaun Jackson's going to collapse under the horrible quarterbacking of Nick Foles, and yes, Michael Vick. Alfred Morris just isn't that good, honestly. He can run through open holes, but so can retards. I'm not talking like retards like Rain Man, like the actual retards who are actually retarded and not like the smart ones. You're starting Keenan Allen, who is, he's okay. Keenan Allen's okay, but you don't win championships by being okay. No Sean Moreno, sure he's good, but dude, this week is just killing me, man. All right, okay, I'm done raging, I think. Side note. Oh, no, this is actually something kind of rage. Not really. Okay. Side note, we need to change the waiver wire. It opens up at Monday at 1 in the morning. I think we should move it to where we at least have time to look at our teams after the Monday night game and decide what we want. And have the waivers actually function instead of whoever stays up till 1 in the morning gets the best players. So that's all. That's my rant. No special guest. I'm sorry. I've got a good one lined up. I just need to find time to do it. Corbin sucks. Corbin, actually, I have a reason to tell him that he sucks this week. He put up 55 points and lost to Michael, who scored 58. So Corbin sucks. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.